They say a clean home creates a clear mind. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You can vacuum every floor, organize every drawer, and still feel like your life is stuck in neutral. The problem isn't the mess you see, it's the energy you don't. Every object in your home is saying something about who you are, what you believe you deserve, and where you're headed. And sometimes the very things we think are harmless, like that wall clock you walk past without noticing, or the trash bin that's always near the door, are quietly working against you. Not because they're cursed, not because they're dirty, but because of what they represent and where they live. Energy is fluent. It speaks without sound, it moves without form, and every single day, it's either guiding you toward abundance or pulling you gently away from it. Most people think bad vibes come from clutter or old broken things, but here's what most never realize. Even the most beautifully designed home can silently drain your money, your peace, and your sense of self, simply by sending the wrong messages into your space. Messages you never meant to send. That's the danger of living on autopilot. Because when you don't know what your home is saying, you don't know what you're attracting. That's why this episode matters. We're going to look beyond cleaning and decorating. We're going to decode the language of your space, the subtle signals that shape your relationships, your sleep, your bank account, and your ability to feel grounded in your own life. You might be surprised how often seemingly harmless items, things we use every day, Andy, become silent saboteurs of joy and momentum. And it's not superstition, it's energetic literacy. Just like you wouldn't speak carelessly to someone you love, you shouldn't allow your home to speak carelessly to the universe on your behalf, especially not when it's about your future. And I'll tell you now, if you're watching this and you've been feeling stuck lately, financially, emotionally, even creatively, I want you to stay with me, because what we're about to uncover might be the shift you didn't know you needed. These 4 common household placements might seem small, but once you understand their deeper meaning, once you realign them, it's like finding the missing thread that ties your piece together. The moment you fix these signals, you'll feel it, a soft unraveling of heaviness, the kind of inner lightness that makes life move again. Now, before we go any deeper, I want to ask one thing. If you find value in the care and depth I bring to these insights, please support this channel with a like, a share, and a subscribe. It may seem like a small action, but it helps New Day Mindfulness grow. And it gets us closer to reaching 5,000 subscribers, which means I can keep creating more meaningful, soul-grounded content just for you. Every step you take with me helps build a community of homes and hearts that breathe better. So let's begin. Let's walk through your space with new eyes and learn what it's truly saying. Because once you shift these 4 things, you'll not only clear the energy of your home, you'll reclaim the momentum of your life. And you deserve that. You always have. Mistake number 1, the clock that erodes your calm. It starts with something you don't even notice anymore. That soft tick, that glance toward the wall, that moment when you wake up in the night and your eyes instinctively search for the numbers glowing in the dark. We live our lives to the rhythm of clocks, and yet we almost never question where we've placed them or how they're affecting the way we live, breathe, and think. But in Feng Shui, timing isn't just a calendar matter. It's an energy rhythm. And when a clock is placed in the wrong spot, you're not just tracking hours, you're unintentionally scheduling your own unease. This ties directly to what we opened with. Energy isn't about clutter. It's about messages, signals. A beautiful house can still drain your life force if its elements are sending the wrong signals. And clocks, more than most, are master signalers. They're symbols of change, momentum, aging, pressure, control, and progress. That's a lot of energy to hold in one single object. So where you place them and what type you choose matters more than you've ever been told. Let's begin with one of the most common and most misunderstood placements, the front door. A clock directly facing the front door seems innocent, even convenient. But in Feng Shui, the front entrance is the mouth of Qi, the gateway through which energy enters and flows through your life. A clock facing this opening sends a subconscious message. Time is leaving. Momentum is passing. Opportunities are running out. And without realizing it, this message plants a seed of urgency, of scarcity, of I'm already behind. Day after day, this impression builds. And before long, you're not flowing with life, you're chasing it. That kind of pressure doesn't motivate, it wears. It erodes your capacity to receive. Now let's step into the bedroom. The very space meant to be your sanctuary, your restoration zone, your energetic recovery chamber. Yet so many people, especially in the Western world, insist on placing clocks in direct view of the bed. Some go even further and choose clocks that light up, click loudly, or vibrate to ensure they never miss a beat. But ask yourself this, when did rest become synonymous with vigilance? Clocks in the bedroom are not timekeepers. They're tension in disguise. In Feng Shui, the bedroom is governed by yin energy, soft, still, and internal. A clock's ticking aligns with yang energy, deep, assertive, directional. So placing a clock here sets up a constant energetic contradiction, and the bust is your peace. Here's where it gets even deeper. The human mind doesn't just read time visually, it feels it. Studies from neuroscientists show that exposure to ticking clocks raises cortisol levels in people already experiencing stress. You might not hear it clearly. You might say, I've gotten used to it, but your nervous system hasn't. It's responding, regulating, reacting, even when you sleep. So that glowing red number at 3:00 a.m. isn't just telling you the time. It's telling your body to stay alert, to remain in control, to prepare for tomorrow. And in doing so, it's robbing you of the very sleep that creates mental clarity and emotional balance. You see, when people complain about feeling tired but wired, when they say, I can't switch off, the culprit is often not caffeine or screens, but subtle environmental signals like this. And clocks are one of the most potent. That's why, from a Feng Shui perspective, the bedroom clock isn't a necessity, it's a negotiation. And most people lose that negotiation without knowing it. Now let's zoom out to the entire home. What kind of clocks are you choosing? Are they sharp-edged, digital, bold in color and font? Or are they round-faced, softly framed, analog in design? Because just as materials and color carry energetic frequency, so too does shape. In Feng Shui, round shapes promote harmony, unity, and continuity. They encourage balance and cooperation among family members. Sharp angles or overly geometric clocks, especially in common areas like the kitchen or living room, can increase friction and speed, resulting in miscommunication, rushed decisions, or unnecessary conflict. Think about your own home now. Where is the largest clock placed? What does it look like? Does it stand out boldly, like a countdown? Or does it blend gently into the space, offering rhythm rather than control? This is where design meets intention. The type of time you want to live by is the type of time you should decorate with. So if you want a slower morning, choose a clock with soft tone. If you want focused work energy, choose one with clean numerals and place it behind your direct line of sight, not staring at you from your desk, demanding accountability every 5 minutes. Let's take a quick journey into a real-world example that might surprise you. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, is known for his hyper-disciplined routine and minimalist workspace. But what few people know is that he keeps time indicators in highly specific, intentional places, never in front of his resting spaces, never directly above his entry points. Why? Because even in the high-octane world of corporate leadership, Cook understands that performance isn't just about output, it's about clarity. And clarity requires controlled stimuli, and he's not alone. Jeff Bezos has often spoken about room tone, the background feeling of a space. Clocks, though they seem passive, shape room tone more than most people realize. A room with no visible time indicators has a different energy than one with a bold digital display. One invites presence, the other pushes productivity. One lets you feel, the other reminds you to calculate. And that brings us to the emotional layer that most people miss. Time isn't just something we measure, it's something we feel deeply. Every moment we check a clock, we're not just gathering information, we're experiencing judgment. Am I late? Am I doing enough? Am I behind? Clocks, depending on where they sit, amplify or soften that inner dialogue. So when your home becomes a space where time is always loud, always visible, always pressing, you lose the freedom to just be. You turn even your sanctuary into a performance arena. Now here's what you can do starting today. Begin by identifying all the clocks in your home: digital, analog, wall-mounted, desktop, appliance-based. Look at their positions. Any facing the front door? Move them. Any glaring in your bedroom? Remove them or cover them at night. Replace aggressive shapes with round designs. Choose clocks with soft ticking or no sound at all. If you use your phone as your timekeeper, set it to Do Not Disturb after sunset and avoid placing it on your nightstand. You're not just making changes for Feng Shui, you're giving your nervous system the reset it's craving. If you must have a clock into the bedroom, say for alarms, opt for analog models with non-glowing faces and keep them at least 5 feet from your head. And for those who work from home, try placing your clock slightly behind your line of sight, not in front of it. That way you control time, not the other way around. And don't underestimate the power of removing just one time indicator. That kitchen wall clock you glance at while cooking dinner, if it's loud or harsh, it's not helping your digestion. It's rushing it. That bathroom digital display flashing while you brush your teeth, it's not keeping you on schedule, it's stressing your start. Small shifts, profound effects. Because in the end, clocks are not enemies, but they are powerful. They can either be your allies in harmony or silent saboteurs of peace. And you get to choose. You get to reclaim your time, not just in minutes, but in presence, in calm, in clarity. And that, more than any productivity hack or scheduling system, is what true balance feels like. Let this be your reminder. Time is not a countdown, it's a current. And your home is the riverbed. Shape it wisely and you'll feel yourself flowing, not forcing, your way through each day. Mistake number 2, trash cans that attract chaos. You may think the trash can is just a functional object, a place to put banana peels, junk mail, and whatever else no longer serves a purpose. But in Feng Shui, trash isn't just about disposal, it's about symbolism. And more importantly, it's about how the energy of what we discard continues to echo inside the spaces we live in. Let's take this a step further. Think of your home as a vessel, and think of energy as air circulating within it. Every object, every scent, every corner of clutter or clarity affects how freely that air flows. Now ask yourself this: what happens when you place the energetic equivalent of decay at the very threshold of your space? What kind of welcome are you extending to your day, your relationships, your wealth, and your well-being when the first or most visible thing you and others encounter is a receptacle for what you no longer want? When your trash can sits in the wrong place, you are unknowingly inviting energetic stagnation and spiritual smog into the spaces where vitality is supposed to thrive. It doesn't matter if the bin is stainless steel or plastic, decorative or neutral. If it's near the front door, the kitchen, altar, or even worse, visible from your dining area or bedroom, the impact is silent but serious. A trash can by your entryway is like posting a sign that reads, "I'm still holding on to what should have been cleared." And the universe, energetically and psychologically, responds in kind. You'll find deals falling through at the last minute, delays, miscommunications, the feeling of almost succeeding but not quite. You'll wake up in a clean house and still feel mentally foggy. That's because the clutter isn't on the floor. It's in the signal you're sending out unintentionally every single day. Let's get even more precise. In Feng Shui, doors represent the mouth of qi, the breath of energy that enters and nourishes a space. The front door is considered the primary portal of opportunity, prosperity, and new beginnings. The last thing you want sitting beside it is a bin full of yesterday's energy. Think of the trash as more than banana peels and empty packaging. It holds the energetic residue of your day, decisions you regret, food that didn't nourish you, items that disappointed you. To place this residue near your life's entrance is to confuse the message you're giving to the universe. Instead of saying, "I'm ready for what's new," you're whispering, "I'm still stuck in what didn't work." Even if your trash is hidden in a cabinet or closet, the location still matters. For example, having a kitchen bin directly beneath your stove or facing your dining table can lead to subtle patterns of wastefulness, overspending, undernourishment, or even tension at family meals. Have you ever wondered why certain dinners feel heavier than others, even if the food is the same? Sometimes it's the unseen energy sharing the table with you. On the other hand, when trash cans are placed with intention, covered, distant from energetic portals, and cleaned frequently, they cease to be energy draining. They transform into tools of renewal. And let's be clear, this isn't about hiding what's real or pretending life isn't messy. It's about choosing what energy we allow to greet us, to feed us, and to travel with us as we move through the home and the world. This is why design expert Nate Berkus emphasizes not only aesthetics, but the emotional weight of what you see daily. Hidden storage isn't about denial. It's about protecting the sanctity of your visual and spiritual focus. What you repeatedly expose yourself to becomes a part of your identity. A trash bin in the wrong place doesn't just affect the vibe, it reshapes your habits. You may procrastinate more, tolerate more clutter elsewhere, or feel inexplicably drained by simple tasks. All of this just from an overlooked container tucked beside the door or in the corner of your room. Let me tell you a story to anchor this further. A client of mine, a mid-level executive named Rachel, had recently gone through a series of financial frustrations, investments that tanked, team conflicts, and chronic fatigue. She was smart, disciplined, and well-organized, but something felt off. When I visited her home, everything looked in order. The house was clean, well-decorated, even minimalist. But the moment I stepped inside, I noticed it. A stylish stainless steel trash can with a swinging lid placed just to the left of the front door. Uncovered, visible, and heavy with a day's waste. It greeted every guest before they saw anything else. Every package delivered, every friend visiting, every time Rachel herself entered after a long day, she was met with an energy that whispered, "This is the end of what you bring in." That's a terrible place to anchor your home's first impression. We relocated it to a concealed spot in the utility hallway, added a small bowl of citrus peels near the door to infuse freshness, and gave her a new ritual. Every time she takes the trash out, she sets an intention, what negative thought or emotion she is also choosing to discard. Within a month, her finances stabilized. Her boss gave her a surprising project promotion. And more than anything, she said she felt like her home finally started breathing again. This is the kind of shift I want for you, not cosmetic, but foundational. So if you're listening to this thinking, "But my trash can is so convenient there," I challenge you, is convenience worth stagnation? Is saving 3 steps worth sacrificing energetic clarity? Would you place a reminder of everything you don't want next to your prayer altar or beside the mirror where you get ready to face the world? Then why place it by your home's heartbeats, its doors, its hearth, its resting places? Let's talk solutions. The first rule is always to use bins with lids. An open bin is an open loop, and the mind responds to loops by trying to finish them, consciously or not. That's why you feel unsettled when you see garbage exposed. It's not just smell or sight, it's an invitation to energetic leakage. Second, place trash bins in spaces designed for transition, utility rooms, laundry areas, or garages. These are spaces where energy is already expected to change forms. Third, clean your bins regularly, not just when they smell. Wipe the inside, change the liners often, and consider placing a bay leaf or a drop of citrus oil at the bottom. Why? Because even hidden objects carry charge. Clean doesn't just mean empty, it means energetically neutral. Lastly, make trash removal intentional. Don't just dump it and rush back inside. Stand by your bin, take one conscious breath, and mentally say, as I release this, I make room for what's better. It takes 10 seconds, but those seconds train your mind and space to expect growth, not just routine. If you do nothing else today, please do this. Relocate one trash bin in your home that has been too visible, too central, or too casually placed. Just one. Watch how it shifts the way you feel in that room. Watch how the air starts to feel lighter. Not because you cleaned it, but because you finally let go of what it was silently storing. That's the real secret of Feng Shui. Not placement for placement's sake, but alignment, coherence, honoring the conversation between you and your space. You don't need to believe in superstition. You don't need incense, chants, or crystals. You just need to pause long enough to ask, what message is my home sending when I'm not looking? Is it saying I honor clarity or I tolerate accumulation? Is it whispering fresh start or muttering, I'll deal with it later? Because energy doesn't respond to your best intentions. It responds to your most repeated patterns. And trash placement? That's one of the loudest patterns of all. Let's continue, because there's another mistake even more common than this one, and it might be sitting just above your head. Are you ready to find out? Mistake number 3, the shoe mess that blocks your path. Your future can't walk in if it keeps tripping over your past. That's not just a metaphor, it's an energetic reality playing out at the foot of your front door every single day. And for millions of households, the entryway isn't a welcoming space, it's a collision zone. Shoes flung off in a hurry, pairs stacked in uneven towers, dusty souls dragging in the weight of the world. This isn't just clutter, it's congestion of the spirit. And in Feng Shui, there's a direct connection between the way we treat our threshold and the way we treat the path ahead. The moment you step inside your home, your nervous system does something extraordinary. It takes a reading. It scans the light, the space, the sounds, the smells, and yes, the visual landscape. And what does it find? If it finds disorder, it mirrors that disorder back to your heart rate, your mindset, your sense of clarity. The entryway is like the first sentence of a book. It tells your mind what kind of story you're about to walk into. And when the story begins with chaos, your whole day struggles to find rhythm. In the language of Feng Shui, the doorway is often described as the mouth of qi. This is the space through which energy enters and exits. It's your home's point of contact with the wider world, the symbolic handshake between your private life and the universe. So imagine the impact when that sacred passage is blocked with the very items meant to move you forward: your shoes. A shoe pile isn't just a visual nuisance, it's a form of energetic indigestion. It represents unresolved decisions, fatigue, and hesitation. Each pair holds a memory, a purpose, a weight. And when they're left abandoned near your threshold, they interrupt the natural breath of your home. In fact, there's a neurological cost to this that most people don't realize. Every time you see disorder, your brain registers a micro-stressor. Even if you don't stop to consciously react, your subconscious collects these visual data points and files them under threat. So imagine the subtle impact of walking in and seeing a jumbled mountain of footwear. The kind of scene that says, I'm not in control, I'm overwhelmed, I don't finish what I start. It's not just about mess, it's about message. And the message matters. Americans in particular are vulnerable to this dynamic. Culturally, we lean toward convenience. We take off our shoes and toss them near the door because it's fast, it's easy, it feels practical, but the truth is this small habit carries big energy. Disorder at the entrance conditions your mind to expect resistance. It whispers, this house is not ready, this life is not focused, this person is not prepared. And the universe listens to those whispers. Let's take a moment to revisit one of the most beloved public figures in modern American life, Michelle Obama. In her memoir and various interviews, she speaks openly about how small, grounding habits gave her a sense of peace and presence amid chaos. One of those habits was keeping her entryway clean and clear. For her, tidying that space wasn't just about cleanliness. It was about emotional control, a form of energetic anchoring. And that's what Feng Shui teaches us, that these actions are not chores, they are rituals of alignment. So what exactly makes the shoe pile so energetically dangerous? First, it represents the past, the shoes you wore last week to that difficult meeting, the ones you bought but never wear, the pair you meant to fix but haven't touched in months. All of these are unprocessed experiences. When you place them at your front door, you are saying, I am carrying this emotional weight into every new beginning. Second, shoe clutter attracts what we call stuck energy. Chi that would otherwise flow freely becomes tangled in the congestion. This stagnation can show up in your daily life as indecision, procrastination, or even fatigue. And third, there's the symbolic blockage. Think of every visitor, every friend, opportunity, delivery, or guest who approaches your front door. What's the first thing they encounter? If it's a heap of footwear, the message is, there's no room here. Turn back. That impression doesn't just apply to people, it applies to the energetic invitation you're sending to the world. A cluttered threshold sends the signal, access denied. Now, let's talk about the fix. And no, it doesn't require expensive furniture or a fancy entryway renovation. It starts with intention. The first step is containment. Use a low, sturdy rack, preferably in wood or metal, and keep it beneath eye level. This lowers the visual noise and anchors the energy. Avoid stacking shoes on top of each other. This creates energetic competition and confusion. Next, rotate your footwear regularly. Only keep out what you actually wear in the current season. The rest should be stored, hidden, or donated. By rotating, you are telling the universe, I know where I'm going, I'm choosing my path. That's a declaration of readiness. Another powerful step, get rid of broken, worn-out shoes. These are symbols of depletion. They carry the energy of weariness, of paths already walked, of fatigue without renewal. When you hold on to them, you hold on to the exhaustion they represent. Let them go. And finally add beauty, a small plant, a calming scent, a piece of artwork that uplifts. This transforms your entryway from a dumping ground into a portal, a threshold of clarity, not confusion. Let's not forget that in many traditional cultures, especially in Japan, Korea, and parts of Southeast Asia, the act of removing shoes is sacred. It's not just about hygiene, it's about respect. Crossing the threshold barefoot or in indoor slippers is a ritual of humility, of leaving the outside world behind and stepping into intentional space. When you dump shoes at the door, you discard that reverence. But when you store them with care, you restore it. In homes I've visited across the country, this one mistake shows up more than any other. From sleek urban apartments in New York to sprawling ranch homes in Texas, the shoe pile is everywhere. And what's even more striking is this. The people living in those homes often report the same feelings, feeling stuck, foggy, overwhelmed, disorganized. They've tried decluttering, they've tried organizing apps, they've tried setting intentions, but nothing sticks because they haven't addressed the entry point, the portal, the mouth of chi. And perhaps the biggest truth is this: most of us don't even notice the pile anymore. It becomes background noise. We step over it, we ignore it, but energy doesn't ignore it. It responds. It always responds. The energy of your home is like water. It will find the path of least resistance, or it will get blocked, pooled, and eventually stagnate. Your job is to open the path, to clear the way, to give your energy and your future permission to walk in. So let this be your moment of realignment. If you've ever wondered why you feel overwhelmed before you even get your shoes off, this is why. If you've ever sensed that your life is on the edge of change but can't seem to cross the threshold, this is why. If you've ever felt like opportunity knocks but never quite makes it in, this is why. It's not superstition, it's symbolism, it's design, it's energy. And you don't need to fix everything at once. Start with just one pair. One small decision to remove a roadblock. One conscious moment to clear your threshold. And with that one act, you tell the universe, I'm making space, I'm ready now, let's move forward. Mistake number 4, water features that drown your balance. You can light the perfect candle, open your windows to fresh air, even recite a beautiful affirmation every morning. But if the water feature in your home is misplaced, all of that intentional energy might be slipping quietly down the drain. Because water in Feng Shui is not just decor. It's destiny, it's wealth, it's emotional rhythm. And when misunderstood, it doesn't just misguide your mood, it can destabilize your entire energetic foundation. So let's talk about the most alluring yet most misused element in the modern home. Let's start with this truth. Water is the lifeblood of Feng Shui, but just like blood, it must flow in the right direction, at the right pace, and in the right space, or it causes internal imbalance. You see, when most people add a fountain, aquarium, or decorative bowl to their space, they think they're enhancing peace, luxury, or relaxation. But intention without placement is like trying to sail a boat without checking the tide. You may mean well, but you might end up adrift. And the most common trap? Placing water in the wrong emotional zones of the home. Bedrooms, for instance, are for stillness, not current. Sleep is when your body restores, your nervous system resets, your subconscious releases and reorganizes. But when you add moving water to this space, whether it's a bubbling desktop fountain or even a small aquarium, it signals motion to the brain, it stirs energy, it mimics instability, and worst of all, it invites unconscious stress. You may find yourself tossing and turning, unable to fully exhale, even if the sound of water once felt soothing. Because in Feng Shui, context matters more than the object itself. The bedroom, the place where your spirit retreats, cannot hold the same rhythm as your living room or entrance. So when you put water where rest is meant to live, you unintentionally swap surrender for stimulation. But this isn't just about sleep, It's about symbolic logic. In many traditions, water represents wealth, because like money, it's designed to flow, not stagnate. When a fountain runs dry, or worse, when water collects in a dusty corner, its message shifts from abundance to neglect. Stagnant water isn't neutral, it's heavy. It pulls energy downward, inward, and backward. It clings, it clouds, it collects not just dust, but doubt. And over time, it can mirror that stagnation in your bank account, in your inspiration, and in your emotional bandwidth. That small decorative bowl on your windowsill, if neglected, could very well be the emotional anchor that's been quietly weighing you down. Now, before panic sets in, let's course correct. Because when water is honored properly, it becomes one of your most powerful allies. A well-placed water feature, especially one that moves gently and consistently, can be a beacon for prosperity, flow, and revitalization. Oprah Winfrey, for instance, is said to have an indoor water wall in her wellness home. Not in her bedroom, not tucked away in a cluttered den, but in a main corridor where it greets energy, not obstructs it. That's not just good design, it's intuitive alignment. She understands, like many energetically aware leaders, that water is not about soothing the eye, it's about setting the tone. Where you place your water is where you direct your flow. And when placed in living rooms, entryways, or southeast wealth areas, water becomes a current of support, never a tide of chaos. Let's pause here and reflect. Do you have a water feature in your home that you've long overlooked? Maybe a tiny fountain collecting dust near your bookshelf, a fish tank near your bed that's more maintenance than meaning, or a bowl of water meant for good luck that now feels more like forgotten ritual. These things matter. Because in Feng Shui, your space is not just a backdrop, it's a mirror. And every neglected element is a reflection of a part of you that's asking to be seen, cleaned, and redirected. So here's your practical guide. If you want water in your home to support you, not sabotage you, follow these principles. 1, keep it moving. Still water loses power. 2, keep it clean. Cloudy water sends mixed signals. 3, keep it in zones of activation, not zones of rest. That means your living room, your home office, or your front entrance are ideal. Your bedroom, not so much. Your closet or tight hallway. Never the southeast corner of your home, known traditionally as the wealth area, is especially beneficial for water when you want to encourage financial flow. And if you already have water placed poorly, don't panic, just pause, thank it for its time, and relocate it with intention. Feng Shui is not punishment, it's partnership. Your home wants to support you. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. Even the simple act of emptying, cleaning, and repositioning a bowl of water can act as a reset for your space and your spirit. Remember, energy listens to clarity, and every time you rearrange your space with love and thought, you send a message to the universe that says, I'm ready for alignment. Let's circle back to the emotional undercurrent of water. It doesn't just represent money, it reflects emotion. So when you feel like your life has become a flood of overwhelm or a drought of inspiration, check your water features. Are they helping you release emotion, or are they anchoring your anxiety? Are they ushering in prosperity, or are they echoes of a wish you've outgrown? These are not abstract questions, they're invitations, because your home, like your heart, holds memory in its moisture. Every drip, every trickle, every ripple matters. You are not here to carry the weight of misaligned elements. You are here to flow, to trust the current, to place your energy where it will nourish you, not drain you. And it all begins by understanding the silent power of water. If this section stirred something in you, if a forgotten bowl or misplaced aquarium just flashed into your mind, trust that awareness. You're already realigning. You're already shifting the current. And as we move into the next section, remember, the home doesn't just reflect you. It teaches you. It guides you. And every object, when placed with love, becomes a partner in your evolution. The invisible details that carry heavy consequences. Sometimes the biggest shifts in your home don't come from grand renovations or spiritual objects placed in perfect symmetry. They come from the tiny things you stop tolerating, the objects you pass by every day without thought, the shadows that gather in the corners, the bulb that flickers and you swear you'll change tomorrow, the once thriving plant now leaning lifeless in its pot. These are not neutral. They're not background noise. They're energetic fingerprints that tell a story about your home and your life. And here's the hard truth most people avoid. Energy doesn't discriminate between what you say and what you silently accept. It listens to both. It watches what you walk past, what you ignore, and it mirrors it back into your finances, your clarity, your ability to move forward. That's why this bonus section matters so much. Because it's easy to focus on the big mistakes, the clocks, the shoes, the trash, the water. But what if the reason your home still feels heavy isn't about what you've placed, but what you've allowed to linger? Let's begin with what seems harmless, but is anything but: dead plants. You'd be surprised how many homes we walk into and see a withered money tree, a dried up fern, or a once glorious orchid now crisp at the edges. Maybe the owner still waters it out of guilt. Maybe they've grown used to its faded color. But in Feng Shui, that dead plant isn't just taking up space. It's holding the vibration of expired effort. Dead plants are physical echoes of dreams that were once alive but no longer tended to. And when you let that energy sit at your entryway, your kitchen, or even your desk, you are subconsciously saying to the universe, "This is how I treat growth. This is what I do with potential." That's a heavy message, one you don't want to broadcast. Instead, be brave. Let go. Compost it, return it to nature, or replace it with something new, a fresh pothos, a thriving bamboo stalk, or even a simple air plant that reminds you life can flourish again. Now shift your gaze slightly upward. Let's talk about lighting. It's one of the most overlooked symbols in the energetic language of space. A dim or broken light doesn't just affect visibility, it dims your vision of what's possible. Think about it. How many times have you walked into a room and the bulb flickers once, then gives up entirely, and you just leave it? Maybe you're tired. Maybe you've normalized living in half light, but energy doesn't understand excuses. It understands tone. And lighting sets the tone of your entire environment. Bright, warm light invites focus, joy, movement. Dim, inconsistent lighting invites lethargy, indecision, and in some cases, mindfulness. If you're struggling with motivation, clarity, or confidence in your space, check your light sources. Ask yourself, are they clear? Are they warm? Are they working? Because dull lighting creates dull energy, and dull energy leads to dull opportunities. Even the direction of light matters. Overhead lights can feel oppressive if too harsh, while well-placed side lamps or ambient lighting can soften a room's mood instantly. Oprah Winfrey once shared how her personal sanctuary spaces use intentional light to evoke calm, not glare. And that's not design fluff, it's energy hygiene. Now let's ground ourselves in something more tactile. Sharp corners and heavy decor. These are the things that don't just look aggressive, they feel aggressive, even if we can't name it. Imagine a hallway lined with jutting furniture, or a desk with a jagged metal lamp pointing toward your seat. Your nervous system notices, even if your conscious mind doesn't. Sharp angles shoot energy like arrows. They create tension, not flow. And the longer you live with them, the more your mind begins to adopt that tension as its default state. This is especially important in areas where rest or reflection should dominate. Bedrooms, meditation nooks, dining corners. Instead of blocky furniture or industrial accents with exposed bolts and cold surfaces, opt for rounded shapes, organic textures, and items that feel like they belong rather than dominate. Even powerful public figures like Michelle Obama have spoken about the emotional difference created by soft strength, a design principle that values comfort and intention over visual assertion. Because when your space assaults your senses, it can't soothe your soul. Next, let's look at what I call energetic hangovers. Objects that no longer serve a purpose but remain because of inertia. This includes broken electronics stored in closets, old gifts from people you've emotionally outgrown, or items that represent a past version of yourself that no longer fits who you're becoming. These aren't just things, they are energetic weights. Every time you walk past that cracked mirror or open the drawer filled with tangled cords and dead batteries, your energy splits. A part of you remembers the guilt, the delay, the unfinished business, and that fragment weakens your clarity. Ask yourself, what am I carrying that is already energetically dead? What object in my home keeps me anchored to a version of myself that no longer exists? One of the most powerful exercises I give to clients is the shelf audit. Stand in front of any surface in your home, whether it's a shelf, a counter, a drawer, and say out loud what each item represents. Not what it is, but what it says about you. This candle says, I wanted to start meditating, but never did. This souvenir says I'm still trying to hold on to a vacation from 5 years ago. This unopened mail says I avoid what I don't understand. And if what it says doesn't reflect who you want to be, change it, release it, make room for a new story. Let's pause for a moment and address a common reaction. But I'm sentimental. And I get it. Sentiment is beautiful. It connects us to our history. But there's a difference between honoring memory and hoarding identity. You are not your past. You are not obligated to keep every photo, every letter, every relic from a chapter you have already finished. Choose the memories that uplift you, not the ones that guilt trip you into keeping them. If an object brings a smile, keep it. If it brings a sit and let it go. Another invisible but potent energy drain. Unfinished projects, we all have them. The bookshelf you meant to paint, the vision board you started but never finished, the half-written journal, the broken chair, the DIY herb garden that turned into a graveyard. These might seem harmless, even inspiring in their own way, but they create subconscious clutter. They whisper to you, you're behind, you're a quitter, you didn't follow through. And that whisper, when multiplied by 5, 10, 20 incomplete tasks, becomes deafening. Energetically unfinished projects are like open tabs in your mental browser. They slow everything down. The solution isn't to finish them all immediately, it's to make a decision. Either recommit or release. Honor your bandwidth. Give yourself permission to let go of ideas that no longer inspire you. Before we close, let's reflect on a principle that runs through all these invisible details. Everything in your home is in conversation with your future. Nothing is neutral. And if you want to create a future full of ease, abundance, clarity, and strength, you must be willing to listen to what your space is saying and say something better in return. Walk through your home tonight with this question in mind. Does this still reflect who I want to be? If the answer is no, don't ignore it. Act on it. Even a single drawer, once cleared, can create a ripple effect of clarity. Even one plant, newly thriving, can shift the mood of a room. Even one bulb replaced can brighten the path ahead. This section isn't about perfection. It's about participation. About not giving your power away to old patterns or silent tolerances. Because every small shift you make tells the universe, I'm serious about peace. I'm available for abundance. I'm ready for more. And you are. Final. Reclaiming your home as a sanctuary, you can rearrange the furniture, burn every candle in the shop, buy all the Feng Shui cures and crystals, and still feel off. Still feel like something is resisting. Something's heavy. Something just won't click. Why? Because it was never about the decoration. It's about what the space is mirroring back to you. And if that reflection is scattered, broken, outdated, or overstuffed, it's not just your home that suffers. It's your clarity, your luck, your peace. That's the heart of today's message. Not superstition, not ritual, but reflection. Because your home is not just where you live. It's where your life story gets shaped every single day. And if you're not conscious of the messages it's sending, you might be unintentionally welcoming stress while pushing away everything you say you want. So take a breath and look again. Think back through what we explored today, because these weren't random mistakes, they're patterns. Patterns that most people, maybe even you, didn't realize were shaping their reality. Let's start where we began. The ticking clock. It seems harmless, maybe even helpful, but when it stares down your front door or hovers near your bed, it becomes a countdown of pressure, not presence. And so many people live with that timer day after day, wondering why they feel behind, why they wake up already exhausted. Then the trash can, not just where we throw things away, but where we leave the energy of rejection, decay, and disorder. Right at the threshold of our blessings. How many homes do you know where the trash sits next to the front door or lingers near the altar or bedroom? More than we want to admit, but what we discard doesn't vanish, it whispers, and it leaves an energetic residue that stains the space we want to feel sacred. Then came the shoes, simple, every day, but when they pile up in disarray, they tell a deeper story. One of decision fatigue, emotional backlog, and blocked momentum. How many of us step over that mess every day, thinking it's normal, when really it's the first symbol we see when we come home and the last thing we touch before we walk out into the world? It's not just footwear, it's friction. And it silently programs our nervous system to brace for chaos. We then explored water, beautiful, mysterious, alive. But water in the wrong place isn't serene, it's chaotic. That aquarium in your bedroom, that stagnant fountain in the corner, that water bowl with no movement, it's not nourishing your space, it's draining your balance. And how many people do you know who place water features where they look good without ever asking whether the energy makes sense? That misstep is more common than you think and more damaging than most realize. And finally, we walk through the bonus truths, the invisible details, the things we stop noticing because they've blended into the background. Dead plants that carry the energy of abandoned growth, dim lights that cast dull intentions, sharp corners that poke at your peace, cluttered shelves filled with things that no longer reflect who you are. These may be silent, but they are never neutral. Every one of them has a voice, and if you don't choose what they're saying for you, they will speak on your behalf, and often not kindly. So what's the thread that runs through it all? Awareness, not magic, not expensive upgrades, just a return to paying attention. Because when you become aware of your space, you become the author of your energy again. You begin to design your life from the inside out, not just with aesthetics, but with intention. And that's what Feng Shui is truly about. It's not about rules, it's about relationship. The relationship between you and the environment that holds you every single day. And that's the sacred mission of New Day Mindfulness, to help you not just clean your space, but claim it. Not just organize your home, but harmonize it with who you're becoming. You don't need a new house, you need a new relationship with your home. You need to stop settling for the kind of space that drains you and start creating one that reflects your highest calm, your clearest mind, your most abundant potential. Because every object in your home, every placement, every habit you tolerate, it is either helping you rise or holding you back. So before you move on to the next thing, pause and ask yourself, what am I ready to release today? What space in my home needs to become sacred again? What energetic leak am I finally willing to seal? And if this message resonated with you, if even one part of today's journey made something click, lifted a weight, or gave you a new lens, I invite you to anchor that moment right now.